All right, I'm live. Good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV radio. My name is Idafe Mathias. You're gonna love to call me the Elegbete One Sports. It is time for us to get in on the conversation. The Nations Cup is done and dusted. Winners and losers, people who picked 2 points and got knocked out from group stage, people who didn't make it, people who make it to the round of 16 and got knocked out, people made it to the quarterfinals and got knocked out, people who were champions want to be and didn't become champions, and people who look like they didn't deserve to even make it past the group stage. They were, the last to make it out of the group because they were best losers, ending up as champions. So many things to talk about, so many things to look at. Cote d'Ivoire's coach became the first man in the history of football, if I'm not mistaken, to be hired in the middle of a tournament. 3 games gone, and he took over the team. And before you could say Jack Robinson is a champion. 4 games out of 7 is what he coached. It wasn't even the preferred choice. It was the alternate choice. By alternate choice, I mean, it wasn't the guy that they wanted. They looked at him like, I beg you, this will not be the guy that can do the job. But when they, I guess when they looked at it like, okay, nobody have a runner that won it for them in 2015 that they are hoping to get is no longer available. They say, okay, when the desired is not available, the available becomes the desired. Let's just go for this one. Not be say we like Ashao, but let's see how far he can do. After all, he's the assistant to the guy that we consider a failure. But then, eventually, the rejected stone became the chief cornerstone. Well, Nigeria went to the Nations Cup as well with the coach and a team that we didn't expect anything from. They get to round of 16 would have been great, but they went on. Surprised everybody got to the finals. Unfortunately, like Moses, took the Israelites out of Egypt, but couldn't lead them into the promised land as winning our 4th African Cup of Nations became as hard can be. It was a very tough nut to crack. Not even the squirrels, not even the rabbits could do it. But overall, personally, on my side, I think that the team did well. I think that we made some progress that we can be proud of, that we can be happy about. But, it is perspective. This whole thing comes down to perspective. What I like is different from what you like, and what you like is different from what I like, okay? So, might not work, based on my opinion, but in my opinion, I think that the Super Eagles tried. Somebody sent me a message last night and he said, do you think that from the 24 teams that went to this tournament, do you think that the best team won it? And I was like, what's the meaning of this in the first place? It was early this morning, actually. What's the meaning of like the best team? Well, they got to the finals. How they got there doesn't really matter. They got to the finals, and when it matters most, they live up to expectations. They went on and won it, and I think that they did well. Well, let me go to Italy and find out from my producer who is in Italy, and let him give us updates on what's going on, what the program is. We will be following them progressively and be seeing what they're doing. So let's see what is going on with Agfa FC. I hear that there are 3 other Nigerian teams that are also going to participate in the tournament. So there is a whole lot. This is about the 75th or 76th. Hi, good morning, Kalejaye.
Good morning.
How's it going? Buongiorno, my brother. Buongiorno. Senor Kalejaye, good buongiorno. How's it going over there, man?
It's going fine. We're good. We're all prepared for today's game.
Kalejaye, if you know reverse to talk like somebody with this Abulegba now, I go call the gods of my village to bring you back to Nigeria. Oh yeah.
All of us be all right. The boys, everybody's all right. After the loss of the Super Eagles yesterday, everybody it came with us much, but everybody's still we still stand all right. We still stand well. So this morning the boys don't get breakfast. Everybody don't eat.
Have you guys had chance to like go see the city, make a little visit around some landmark, or even have a time to train?
Just not yet. So they just took a stroll this morning, so they acclimatize with the weather because the cold too much. So they just made our cast moment and get used to the weather. But sometime later, tomorrow they will have time to go explore the city and see everything around the area. But right now they just say okay, because we have a game this afternoon. So just trying to get used to the weather so that the boys can perform very well when they get to the pitch.
All right. Beyond all of that, Give me a shared idea of your trip. You guys went in batches, and I hear that there are other Nigerian teams also going to participate in this edition of the Viraggio Cup. Let's not forget that 2 years ago, when you guys went there, you guys went all the way to the finals, lost to Sassuolo, if I'm not mistaken. And of that, about 7 players went to sign for different clubs in Europe, but chief of them all is Akin Semeru Ebenezer. When you look at this team that you guys have had, you've been with them for quite a while now, looking at them, do you think that this team have the capability to go all the way to the finals as well? Do you have a coach? Because this time around, Coach Olumide is not with you guys. Do you have a coach that can work the magic and make it happen?
Yes, of course. I've seen the boys play, and I think we have good players that can take us all the way to the final, because this set of boys I'm seeing now are very, very interesting. There's one of the TCC top striker is here in the team, and TCC lead top striker is here in the team, and it's looking very good. The boys are hungry. The best right back in the TCC right now is here in the team.
When you say TCC Kalija, when you say TCC for the purpose of our listeners and viewers, please, can you explain what TCC is, please?
Okay, it is the Creative Championship League that is being played in Nigeria, comprising of 12 teams in Nigeria, academy teams. Beyond Limit is part of it, and Beyond Limit, Broad City, Red Sapphire, Atlantic Business Football Club. It's a host of academy teams, and it's one of the most interesting league in Nigeria so far right now. And we have a lot of players from playing in that league that are here today. The coaches are also up to scratch. They're very good. We have the coach of Gino Sports, who also plays in the Creative Championship League here with us, and also we have the coach of Broad City. So they are the ones who are going to handle the players in this tournament. And of the players we took that came to Villarejo, that came second in the other team in 2022, one of them is still part of us here in the tournament this year. His name is Hyacinth Okoro. Is here, and is the captain of the side this time around. So we have a lot of exciting players, and just can't wait for the games to start, because I've seen them play, and I know that they can go to the finals.
All right. What are the things that you are trying to avoid in Italy for the period that you're going to be there?
Okay. So first, let me take you through our journey, how we got here. We had to go in batches. Some players and coach moved around 12 p.m. Nigerian time on Saturday, while the other batch, my batch, we left Nigeria by 7 p.m. So we got to the Ahmad International Airport. That airport is just like heaven on earth. Got to the airport, everywhere too fine. Waiting happen. They even get train inside airports. Man,
that's the way it should be anyway.
Bless I no come back Nigeria. If I no come, no verse. But it was interesting. You're
too old for that anyway.
So we met up with the other players. We all met up in the Ahmad International Airport, and yesterday morning we took a connecting flight from Ahmad International Airport to Italy, to Milan, where we landed in Milan in the afternoon, and we had a bus ride that took us all the way to Villarejo. It was a 4-hour bus drive, and we got to Villarejo around 7 p.m. local time, and that's how the journey was. It was interesting. The boys were excited.
So the one that everybody wants to know: have you guys done the draws? Who are you guys playing in your group, in your side of the competition?
Okay, so on our group we have Pontedera FC in our group, and they are the ones who will be playing later today, around 3 p.m. Our next game should be after today. Our next game should be Wednesday. While the third game will be on Friday. So the way the tournament is designed is there's the same format, just like the AFCON, where you have 24 teams. The top 2 from each group qualifies to the next round, the round of 16, and there's also the chance of the best loser also.
Wow.
So the best loser can also qualify into the round of 16. Then from there we'll move down to quarterfinal, just the same way the AFCON is being held and the same way the World Cup is held. So that's how it's been arranged.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmed Kalajaye. We would continue to talk to you every day. I mean, we now have our night show that is kicking off today. So by the night time, I'll get back to you again and try to find out what's happening. Somebody's stooling. I will need to know. Somebody's eating what they are not supposed to eat. We'll need to know. And I'm sure that our cameras are capturing everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the most importantly is the exciting ones. So have a great time. Enjoy Italy. We will see you when we talk again. We'll talk to you tonight during the night show. Have a wonderful day, man.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right, that is update from Italy, and I'm sure it's going to be fun. It's our own contribution to grassroots. For those who say we have abandoned grassroots, we've actually not abandoned grassroots. We're still investing there. We're still hoping that the next generation of players that will lead Nigeria to greater success, even at the World Cup, at the Olympics, and more Nations Cup wins are going to come from all of these grassroots projects that we're part of. And it will be exciting. And then for those of you who are dropping your comment, please keep them coming. Those of you who are joining the live, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do want to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go out to talk to a whole lot of people today, and straight I'm going to go to the one we love to call the professor from the sports lounge. One guy that I met. Once I met him, I knew that we're going to be family. We're going to be friends. We're going to be running this journey for a very long time because his brain is astute. It's a man of very little words, but when you give him a chance to reel out statistics and talk, he could go on like a preacher who's reeling out scripts and verses from the Bible. Well, Precious Amosuwe is his name, but we love to call him the professor. And I called him this morning. I said, give me your summary, your roundup of the AFCON. It's going to be, a regular voice on the night show. So for those of you who don't know, there'll be a regular night show now daily, starting with the post Chelsea Crystal Palace game tonight. We're going to be there. So there's going to be 10 p.m. show almost every day. Some days, there's not going to be a game where they are not football matches, but there's going to be regular night show now. So for those of you who's been asking, especially the diaspora people, I don't come for now. I'm not ready. I'm gonna gather an offering and Osusu because now I'm going to pay for the data and the phone anyway. But either ways, let's go to Precious Amosuwe to give us his AFCON roundup. I'm going to come to you guys, but let's hear from the professor himself. Precious Amosuwe, let's hear from you.
Good morning, everyone. It's the morning after the AFCON. And congratulations to the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Apart from being very, very good hosts, except the fact that Nigerians found it hard to get tickets for the final game. I think overall it was a very, very good tournament. The use of VAR, this is something that I think the English Premier League need to send their officials down here to come and learn how to deploy this technology, except the fact that, well, maybe the guys in England are acting under instructions anyway. So may nobody come for my neck. So yeah, the game yesterday was, to be honest, I would say disappointing. Yes, there's the fact that I'm a Nigerian, so you may want to say I am biased. But sadly, it isn't about being biased here. I think that the Nigerian team were disappointing on the night, to be very, very honest. I expected us to put in a better showing than what we had against South Africa, and that's because the South Africans did their homework tactically. They knew that our center backs were not the fastest, they were not the most mobile in the tournament, and probably explains why we were playing with a back three. And then in the game against South Africa, we had their forwards running in behind our defense. So it was a much more challenging game defensively. And now we're up against a Sebastian Haller, who is not the most mobile of center forwards. He's not the quickest. And so I wasn't expecting them to stretch our defense, so to say, well, apart from Adingra. And Adingra was actually doing more of hogging the touchline. So I think it was disappointing that we conceded in the manner we did. But the fact that we didn't even take the game to the Elephants, our coach got it wrong from the starting lineup, starting Samuel Chukwueze, who, as far as I'm concerned, wasted 55 minutes on the pitch yesterday. And to be honest, the first 120 seconds of Simon Moses on the pitch completely performed beyond what Chukwueze spent 55 odd minutes doing on the pitch. Offensively, he wasn't doing anything. Defensively, he wasn't helping out Ola, and that's why I think our coach got it wrong yesterday. We're playing a pivot of Onyeka, who for me was one of the shining lights in this tournament. Onyeka literally reminded me of N'Golo Kante yesterday. He was all over the place, nipping balls, marking, pressing high. He seemed like the guy who wanted it. But then there was his partner in the pivot, Alex Iwobi, who, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I still can't say exactly where Iwobi's best position as a footballer. And when you can't exactly tell where this guy is a specialist in, then it's a problem. So Iwobi offensively, he was either undercooking the pass or overcooking the pass. His defensive awareness of his awareness of his surroundings was next to nothing. I mean, I was disappointed in him. Not surprisingly, to be honest, yesterday. But then it is what it is. It's our reality as a nation. We don't have a specialist, a particularly creative force, a tank in the Super Eagles midfield right now. So no issues. I think that Pesero did decently well with what he has at his disposal. So what could he have done better yesterday? First of all, I think that including Samuel Chukwueze in the starting lineup yesterday, set up Ola enough for failure, because Chukwueze is not one to contribute that much defensively. And then you are playing against a tricky winger like Adingra. You don't need to isolate your fullback against him. He did that. So that was why kept getting the beating of his life yesterday, and Chukwueze was nowhere to help him out. Now, in terms of possession, Simon Moses is much more secure with the ball. He tends to lose the ball less often than Chukwueze, who has that tendency to always allow turnovers. And then when he loses the ball, what does he do to retrieve possession? Next to nothing. So I think that tactically, that's one of the areas where the coach lost it. And then he corrected that mistake, a mistake that shouldn't have happened in the first place in the 56th minute or thereabout, by bringing in Simon. Now, unfortunately, the change seemed more like just a personnel change. Okay, apart from just Simon, go and replace Chukwueze. I don't think that there was any tactical contribution, tactical instruction, because I would have expected that a manager who sat down yesterday, who should have emotionally isolated himself from the game to make reasonable judgments, should have seen that the threat was not Max Gradel. The threat was not Sebastian Haller. They had only one attacking outlet, and that was Adingra. What he should have done yesterday was double team against Adingra. Don't isolate Aino against him. Instruction could have been Simon should be the first guy to go mark him, and then Aino can be the second person doubling up on him. So at least if you beat Simon, you wouldn't easily beat Aino. It gives Aino some respite as well. But then we still saw the fact that Aino was still isolated against Adingra. So I think that's one of the areas where the coach could have helped the team better. Aino had a very, very bad game yesterday. They are allowed to do that. Even bots, automation, under some kind of test, sometimes you will find bugs that you never knew existed before now. So I can forgive Ola for having a bad game. Sadly, he chose the wrongest game in the tournament to have a very, very terrible one. But overall, I think that the Super Eagles did beat my expectation. They exceeded. I didn't expect them to go this far. Yeah. So now for the World Cup qualifiers themselves, I think that we need to go back to this same drawing board. We need to go back there, because that's defensive formation which we deployed in the tournament can work for tournaments, but for qualifiers where you're expected to score goals, man, I think we need to do a lot of work again. But overall, hey, congratulations to Cote d'Ivoire, congratulations to Nigeria. Yeah, and I hope that we have a better next tournament. Yeah, cheers.
All right, thank you very much, Precious Omosue, for that one. I like to always hear him talk because he's got it analytically way better than anyone I know. Still to come is Taiwo Ashogbo and Atinuke Isan, who, sharing their perspective, their views on this competition. Taiwo Ashogbo is another guy that I really likes his view to the game, his understanding of the game. When you're old in this, you quickly see those who are better than you. Quickly, like this person, given time, this guy would have do me. Maybe I have bigger hearts than they do, but man, some of these guys are way better in the way they see the game, and I love listening to them. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure that some of you would disagree with Precious Omosuwe, some of you will agree with him, and there's a whole lot of comments. I'm still going to come for it. You know how I say it's 30 minutes for me and 30 minutes for you guys, so we're going to share it right now. I'm going straight to Atinuke-san, one of the members of the TSL. For those of you who don't know what TSL is the Sports Lounge. Sports Lounge was one of our flagship sports program on this radio station, but then it has morphed into a show of its own, a group of its own, a movement, as a matter of fact, because they are also the brain behind the Happy Corner for Sporting Lagos. So if you know, you go to Sporting Lagos game, the guys behind it, the brains behind Happy Corner happening are the guys behind TSL. And Precious Omosuwe is also part of TSL, although he doesn't go for Sporting Lagos games. I mean, I'm not sure he's a fan of Sporting Lagos anyway, but he's part of the TSL team. Let's go to Atinuke, who's a sports journalist, and she's fantastic. She's good at what she does. Let's get to hear our own feminine side of the conversation with the African Cup of Nations.
Good day. My name is Atinuke, a member of TSL Group. First of all, I would like to say big congratulations to Cote d'Ivoire for winning the 2023 AFCON. And congratulations to Super Eagles of Nigeria for also getting to the finals. For Nigeria, the expectations were low. Nobody expected them to get to the final or get as far as they got at this tournament. So because of that, congratulations to them on a outstanding campaign at the tournament. The final was a very good game for Cote d'Ivoire. They came with their tactics, they came with the intent of winning, they came with the zeal that they wanted to get it done on home soil. For Super Eagles, I felt like fatigue started to set in because after the quarterfinals, it's not easy playing the same set of players, the same tactics from beginning of the tournament all to the end. So it's always going to wear out at some point, and it's so sad that it happened in the final where that is where we get to play our worst match of the tournament. A lot of players could not replicate the form that they've had earlier at the tournament. Looks like people like Olaino, he was not able to cope with Simon Adrenga throughout the tournament. We did not come to the party at all. We only had one shot on target. That was the goal in which we scored. Even the person that we always press from the front, the likes of Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, going at the opponent's defense, they could not really do that very well. And that thing I saw was, I don't think Samuel Chukwueze should have started that match ahead of Moses Simon. But I understand Jose Peseiro trying to tweak something and stick with the 11 that defeated Cote d'Ivoire at the group stage. But it did not work out for us. Cote d'Ivoire played very well, and at the end of the day, the better team won and deserved to win the title.
All right, thank you very much, Atinuke, on that one. And let's go to my man, Tayo Ashogbo. Let's get what he's got to say.
Playing against the resurgent form of the hosts in Ivory Coast was always going to be a Herculean task. I mean, we saw Senegal and Mali go ahead and then fall to the Ivorians, and as expected, or unfortunately, it was the same case when the Super Eagles faced them in the final of the AFCON 2023. The reintroduction of Jean-Michel Seri, Adingra, and Sebastian Haller into the first team by MSF proved to be an absolute masterclass in the knockout stages. These guys were very key to how the Ivorians set up. Seri providing some sort of calm for the combination of Fofana and Kessie, or Kessie and Sangare, or Fofana and Sangare to bomb forward and be mobile eights, while Seri was the calming effect in that midfield. Adingra constantly taking on his man with youthful energy and vigor, and Haller coming through with European experience and poise, being a focal point to lead the attack. It's a shock that these guys weren't considered. These guys barely got minutes in the group stages, and you could as well say this was why they struggled to get past the group stages. Also, the poor squad management from Jose Pesaro came to fore as we saw um, fatigued legs in, I'll say, basically the entire Nigerian defense. I know who basically covered the most distance throughout the tournament was a far cry from the person we saw earlier in earlier matches. You could as well say the same for Calvin Bassey. Onyenka and Iwobi were dragged about by the three-man Ivorian midfield, and it was just a bad performance on the day for the Super Eagles. They were caught flat-footed, caught with tired legs, and Ivorians just ran riots all through the match. We were lucky it was only 2-1. Congratulations to the Ivorians. The Super Eagles, you brush the dust off your shoulders, shake the defeat off. We go for Morocco in 2025.
Yeah, we'll go for Morocco in 2025. Hopefully, that Nations Cup will not be postponed and we'll play again 1 year from now. Morocco doesn't look like a country that is not ready. Morocco have invested a lot. If the opportunity comes, there is a window. I don't know where that window is. There's a window for me and my producer to go to Morocco. And there's one of us here who's having a destination wedding in Morocco. I was hoping like I just jump in and see him, but I mean, these things take money. Like I always say to my team, yes, your ideas are brilliant. We should do this, we should do that. The ideas are brilliant, but it costs a lot of money. Just going to that Italy, almost 3 million naira is there just to go and cover grassroots tournament. And you're not going to be able to raise that kind of money on a regular basis, especially when we're not having the views or the contributions that we need. It's coming out of pocket. But there's just some things you just think you should do. And I think my heart has been calling me to go to Morocco and go and do some content, go and interview people, the brains behind the resurgence of the Moroccan football, the facilities that they've built, the way their women and men football have risen, even though they didn't really do well at this AFCON. And that again is the reason why I am worried that next AFCON they just might want to win it. There's a whole lot to look at from that side of town. Special thanks to goes to Ojo Olabamiji for making it possible for us to have some of the TSA guys on the show this morning. I think it's going to be a regular thing, mostly in the evening. Tonight, I would like you to join me from 10 p.m. Nigerian time, where we will take on the conversation around the post-match of the Chelsea Crystal Palace game, and then touch on a whole lot of other topics. There's a whole lot of games that went down the weekend. Bayer Leverkusen beat Bayern Munich 3-0. Come on, and they don't have the Nigerian man in their team. Is injured. He went to Ivory Coast, but things didn't just go his way. By 9 o'clock, that game will start, and most likely we would start our show by 10. So that we can see through the final couple of minutes, maybe by the time we get to 11 o'clock, because the night show will be 2 hours. By the time we get to 11 o'clock, guys will already be dropping their review of the game. But I'm sure in the middle of the show, a lot of guys will be reacting to what's going on in the match. Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and then there is also matches in Italy. Juventus will host Udinese by 8:45, and then by 9 o'clock, Almeria will play Athletic the Bilbao as well. All of those games will come under review, and matches that have been played previously, like Arsenal winning 6-0 at West Ham. That's very, very strange for me. 6-0 away from home. Arsenal, Bukayo Saka again is not the talk of the town. He's rejuvenated. He's come back again. But I like to say this about Arsenal. Like, people, somebody sent me a message, say the Bukayo Saka way you say make the drop, 9 score. That's my problem with people. Once the results start going where you forget the cross of the conversation. I didn't say they should drop Bukayo Saka. I said that Arsenal should have signed Mohamed Kudus as a backup to Bukayo Saka, as a competition to him. That period, and it has happened in the last couple of seasons. There is a period in the season where he goes off, and they will still be forcing him to play. If there is somebody there to back him up, if there's somebody there to take the mantle, like you have with Martinelli now and Trossard, you'll be able to balance it. But in the case of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and even Declan Rice, there is really no strong backup for Declan Rice. There's also Jorginho anyway, so it works. I've always said, at the beginning of the season, last summer during the window, I said whatever Juventus or the Saudi Arabian clubs are willing to pay, Arsenal should sell Thomas Partey. But people didn't listen to me. This man is prone to injury. This man is not ready to play football anymore. Get him off your list, especially for a player who earns that much. Get him off your payroll, and then look for somebody else younger, somebody else who's ready. And one of the names that I mentioned, even though he's also gone out injured, was the guy who went to Tottenham Hotspur, Madison or whatever his name is. Get him on your team and then see what happens with that, so that you can have that. That's what Pep Guardiola have used in the course of every season that he's won. The depth of his squad, the ability to change players whenever, and then they still bring in the same quality. I mean, look at how the team have been for the whole of this season. Yes, Kevin De Bruyne went out, but if you look at the previous seasons, you have Kevin De Bruyne. If he's not playing, Ike Gundogan is there, Bernardo Silva is there, Riyad Mahrez is there, and the rest of them. Yes, eventually some of those players left, and the team suffered a bit. But on the long run, you could tell yourself that, well, this team have done well on the. And when you have take for instance Bukayo Saka, who gross £195,000 a week, which is a good one, but you not go to a player like Thomas Partey, he earns £200,000 a week. That means you are paying him 10.4 million naira per year. In my head, I'm saying to myself, you know what, this guy, get him off your payroll. You're going to get one player that you pay that 100, 120, 150, and it will do way, way better. It will run more and do all that. But hey, that's a conversation for the evening. That's a sample of how the evening show will look like. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and see. We'll be a lot more analytical, a lot more, depth into football. I mean, I'll add the occasional banter, which is okay. But then there's also going to be a lot of voices, a lot of people's opinion. It's not just going to be me alone. A lot of voices will be coming in on the show, and we would also call in a few people. Like I promised on the list yesterday, I like to keep my word. I would not call him when we lose, and we lost. He sent me a message this morning that you thank you very much for not calling. I was devastated in front of my children and all that. Some of the list I still love Nigeria national team. Damn, he still love the national team. I think that team, once you go Eagles, you can't go out. That's just the way it is. He's addicted to the team. But let's look at your comment. Your Lara, what you celebrate one moved on from the loss. Yes, I've moved on as well. That's the way it is. I mean, this is football. Maybe because I played in it, those players are going to be hugging themselves, partying together, moving on. So, yeah, for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or for 50 minutes, or 1 hour of crying, and then everybody's gone. To this morning, everybody's packing their bag, jumping on planes, going back to their club, getting welcome, getting, the needed 1 or 2 weeks rest, and then next thing they're back in their club assignment and doing their things, earning their pay. Why should I stay in that place? I can't. You can't stay where you fall. Yes, you will slip and fall, but then move on, analyze it, look for it. I think that this is going to be critical. Now, the funny thing is there's something very, very salient that Precious Amos will mention. The thing with the World Cup qualifiers is you need goals. We have produced a team in this tournament that went all the way to the finals, but we have a problem. Before this tournament, we've always said that our strongest point is our attack. We can score anybody. Well, it's not like that, because if we can score anybody, we didn't score much goals against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. We struggled in friendly matches as well and qualifiers. Now, this one that will now have a solid defense. I don't know if we can continue it in the World Cup qualifiers, but if we go to the World Cup qualifiers, we're already deficient in terms of points. South Africa now think that, this Nigeria, they're not as super as we think they are. We're going to give them a run for their money and all that. So it's going to be pretty much a bit difficult, but we will see how it goes. I've already predicted before that we might not qualify for the World Cup, okay, because of how the team was playing. But now, the way they played in this tournament almost want to make me change my mind, but I'm still going to stick to it. Like, this team there's just something about this team. The jury is still out on them. There's no hooray, yes, we have turned the corner. And I don't know if the coach is going to continue. A whole lot might happen between now and June, July, when we'll play our next set of matches against, guess who? South Africa and Benin Republic and, all of that. So in my head, I'm saying, hold your breath. Don't be in a hurry to jump. And again, the mantra that I have committed to the Super Eagles, I'm going to stay with it. I'm not one of those who's going to get excited with the Super Eagles anymore. I think that the one match that everybody got excited, oh, we have won it, we would lift the cup. That's the one that they disappointed. They lost. They played badly. They lost. Okay, I'm going to sit here and say to myself, you know what? The Super Eagles are not what getting that kind of hype over, jumping over the top like Monkey with Banana. No, I'm still gonna stay on the fence. They're my friends, yes, but I'm gonna stay on the fence and say, you know what, you guys are not what this will, because anytime somebody give you guys this whole high hope of, oh, the Super Eagles have arrived, they don't deliver. I'm not going to put myself in that space. Well, the line would say before the tournament, the Ivorian team would be said to be better than us, notwithstanding we beat them earlier. Yes, I remember I predicted them as one of my pick, them alongside Senegal as my pick. And again, if you look at the Ivorian team, well, because those people are asking me, how can a team that is so bad in the tournament go on to win the tournament? But that's a mistake. The Ivory Coast team play better teams in this tournament than Nigeria. We forget that. In the group stage, they played against Nigeria and lost. They played against Guinea-Bissau and won. They played against Equatorial Guinea and lost 4 scandalously. They considered 5 goals in the group in 2 defeats, and eventually used their 3 point to make it out. After that, they played against Mali, they played against Senegal, and every game they were playing to the death. So they've mastered the act of coming from behind and delivering on it. And the Mali one was even the sweetest, where they had to, give you their all. And then when it needed to, the still of nerves to go through penalties, they've also gone through penalties and survived it. So it was just a case of, you know what, we've been there. We know how it is to go. When they fell behind, they didn't drop their head and say, oh, we have considered against this Nigerian team. They're like, okay, you know what? We've always considered this tournament. It's not a big deal. Unlike Nigeria, who's played and tried not to concede first and tried to be very, very solid. Only once they conceded first in this tournament, the first game. After that, it was, just us taking the lead until the South African game where we scored first and then they equalized. We went into penalties. So it was just psychologically, there was something working for the host team. But because, you know how it is, banter makes you forget those tiny little details. And I think that the best team won the tournament as far as I'm concerned. Because if you beat the defending champion, if you beat Mali, and then you survive the group the way they did, well, if you got to go to the finals, what else do you need to do? You need to win it. And they've also been a great host. They provided us a great tournament. CAF have also done well with the organization of this tournament. Kudos to everybody who's been part of it. And my benefit from this tournament is the fact that they've solidified my belief, because I've been battling with the concept of a lot of people say, do a night show. We that are living abroad, we can't join you because it's our sleep time, blah, 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 blah. Now it's confirmed that we'll have a night show. So that also is what came out of this tournament. So I'm happy for that. Habib Ayodeji say, I'm not sad. I'm just angry at the lack of desire from the players. Come on, put up a fight. Sure, you want to win it, but the Super Eagles didn't. The thing about fatigue is that part of Bible that says that the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. The thing about fatigue and probably tactical mistake is that in your mind you really want to put up a fight, but unfortunately there's just one. And the thing with football is one player can just destroy the entire balance of the team. Previously, before the AFCON, it was Zor that destroys the balance, the kinetics, and the chemistry of the team. Yesterday, I promise I don't want to blame anybody. I have what I'm thinking in my mind, but I just want to keep it away. But let me just say it was Chukwueze that destroyed the balance of that team. Chukwueze just made it impossible. And again, it was standing on the side where the game plan and the strength of the Ivorian was. So that completely destroyed the balance. And it stayed for too long on that field, 55 to 56 minutes, almost an hour. And by that time, the damage is already done. What's it called? Osaso Bayuana was the one who asked the coach a question at the press conference. Let me see if I can get it straight up. I think I bookmarked it, so I should be able to see it straight up from where I kept it. Okay, this is Osaso Bayuana asking the coach. He said, you scored a goal in the first half. The Super Eagles team took so much pressure in the second half, leading to the 2 goals you considered. Why didn't you change your strategy? And then the coach responded. He said, when you have a system that you have been using, it has been working, you really don't want to change it. It is true that I kept to this strategy until we were 2-1 down. And then I decided to change it. We conceded goals from some defensive errors, and they had a drop in level against the Ivorians. But I am proud of how my players have been in this tournament. Okay. I said it yesterday. If you followed the post match, I said, or somebody said, why didn't we play our 4-3-3? And I said, listen, there's no coach that will change his tactics after that tactics have worked for him over. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So I concur with the coach. It's just that players were tired. His tactics didn't work. I mean, the personnel that he deployed didn't work, and something just didn't happen well because the balance was not there. Ademola Lookman look shackled because I think the Ivorians just look at Chukwueze and say, oh, now this one they bring instead of Moses Simon. This one will be say only he could dribble himself, lose the ball to us. So there's no need to work. Let's just make sure we shackle Osimhen and shackle Ademola Lookman. This one is -1. He's playing for us. He's not playing for Nigeria, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not trying to run him down, but it's just the reality of the game. Well, let's move on to this one. Let's say this fly. I don't know why you follow me to do the show. Okay. Olisha Yadibuwale says one shot on target in a final is not a good one. I agree with you as well. Henry Moru say it was a great tournament. My only low is Nigeria not winning the final match. Every other thing was top notch for me. One of the best football tournaments in like forever. Obaregere say, bros, we went back to default setting. We went back to Eagles versus Lesotho and Eagles versus Zimbabwe. Bros, what do you think is the way forward? Thanks. I really don't know what the way forward is. I'm going to come back. I'm going to watch them come back. I'm going to look at the NFF and see what decision are they going to take. Are they going to convince the coach to say, you know what, stay on the job? We would, we would improve because again, the coach now have powers to make demands. The coach now have power. Before this tournament, whoever say, "Oh, where has he been? What record does he have? Who is he? Is he nobody?" Well, he's led you to the finals somewhere you've not been since 2013. Yes, he lost, but getting to the finals in the 24 tournament does look to me like progress from where you're coming from not qualifying, from getting knocked out in round of 16. That's progress. If Ghana had gone to the finals and were knocked out in the group stage, Ghana will be celebrating today. So for that first, that's progress on his own part and is his highest achievement as a manager. So he could now leverage. There is something to leverage on. He could tell you, well, I want this. And if you're not going to give it to me, there's somebody else who is offering me a job. I think I'm going to consider that job. Again, this window that we're in is a very dicey window. His contract have actually ended. His contract run to the end of the AFCON. As of today, Jose Peseiro is not officially the Nigerian Super Eagles manager. So anything going forward now, it is up to him to say if somebody speak to him. And Nigeria have a history of not coming back from tournament with the coach that they take to the tournament. That we have a history. All the coaches that take us to the finals of a tournament hardly come back with us, whether it's Olympics, whether it's AFCON. So you're going to look at this and say, we do not know how to manage success. Coming from where we're coming from, going to the finals of the AFCON was a success. Even though it's an anticlimax, it's a disappointing one, the way we lost and the way we played, but it's a success that we might not be able to manage. So once all that dust have been dusted from the relics of this tournament and the archaeologists have come in and dissected it and told us what we have, what of these fossils are going to be used and the ones that are not going to be used, I cannot sit back. I still have, a lot of things to say about certain players in the team. I still don't think that certain people have any business being in the team. But hey, they just got to the finals. It will be too much of a hurry. Anything I say now will be classified as anger. Like some people will say, oh, if you don't bet, you don't lose. That's why they talk like this. So I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be patient. The virtual is a very patient bet. I'm going to be very, very calm and look at this and say to myself, there's a time to discuss this matter. Right now, it's not the time. So let's see how it goes. My Ghana people go say, if say the NFF have to decide what they want to decide, and then we'll take it up from there. That's when we'll start having a conversation. Right now, anything that I say or anybody says will be seen as the bitterness and the pain that's coming from losing the final. So I'm going to be calm. I'm going to try to play the big man on this one. Sepmonic say, Elegwata, please, what is Chukwueze still doing in the Super Eagles? He's a national team player. So you guys said he's good enough to play for Real Madrid and AC Milan. So why not play for the Super Eagles? And the Olawa said, thanks, Kalejaya Ahmed, for the grassroots report. Abib Ayodeji, thank you very much for giving us $9.99. I mean, I equate it to $10. Thank you very much. And he went on to say, we appreciate your effort during the AFCON. Thank you for your analysis. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the support. God bless you. We're going to be having regular shows in the night now on match days, okay? So that we'll be able to, break it down since it's now popular demand. especially from our people in the diaspora. Habib Ayodeji, thank you very much. God bless you. Henry Morris says thank you, Habib Ayodeji, for the gift. The Alara what you say, now that the AFCON is over, it be like say Arsenal win with 6 goals. I particularly love the Bayern derby, and Liverpool and Man City are still locking around each other's neck. Inter Milan again. Well, now we're back to club football, so we would have much time to talk about club football as we go in the season. Yes, you are right about that one. Jerry Sampson say we need creative midfielders, so we desperately need them. We desperately need them. Ball carriers, people who can hold on to the ball and determine where the ball needs to go, not just having the ball and passing anyhow. Like Very Dark Man said yesterday, I was laughing. I don't know if I can see that video. I was laughing because you know what makes me laugh when people complain about Alex Iwobi is the fact that everything they are complaining about, I have been saying for God knows how long. Whether it's Chukwueze, whether it's Samuel Moses, whether it's Aribo, whether it's Alex Iwobi, all of these 4 players, anything you people are complaining about them today, I've been saying this forever. And when I was saying it, almost every one of you wanted to beat me. So
come on, Iwobi, I beg. You go pass ball, give Iwobi. Iwobi go first shake Dada like gay. You go first shake Dada. You go come to finish, come make one nonsense pass. In pass, no they ever connect. Or person go there, go make short pass. Or person go there for a far place. You go play pass. Person will go there near him. You go play pass where go far. I don't understand the guy. I don't talk about before. See that guy not supposed to play ball for this country. And that boy.
Oh God of heaven. Sometimes when
sometimes you know this Sabi play, and this is the time when no Sabi play. May they remove him. Come on, Iwobi, I beg. You go pass ball, give Iwobi. Iwobi go first shake Dada like
you know, so this got me laughing. I just thought I should chip it in. That's the Very Dark Man. He was doing a live and he was talking about the game and he was angry. And everybody venting on Alex Iwobi. Now, the funny thing is, most of the people who I see on social media getting angry on Alex Iwobi are the same people who were angry with me when I said 3, 4, 5 years ago, you know, that Alex Iwobi is not a good midfielder. He's not a player that, first off, I don't know where he plays. Like, what is his position? He's not a wide player. He's not a midfielder. Like, you, what are you saying? What do you know? Somebody that is playing regularly for Fulham. I don't know that at the same ball with the watch you. I don't know. Fulham, as I did so with 1.5 leg, what I get. If I train, stay fit, I go play for Fulham. So when you use Fulham as example, and you play for Arsenal, you were downgraded to Everton. Everton that's battling relegation, looking for players to save them, allowed you to go to Fulham. That is oscillating between Championship and the Premier League. Don't I already tell you that? Some people think that once you play in the Premier League, then you are a world-class player. No. Yaya Sanogo played in this Premier League. Lord Brentner played in this Premier League. Carlos Bolarouge played in this Premier League. Baby played in this Premier League. Jesse Lingard played in this Premier League. Anthony Martial played. DJ Anthony is playing in the Premier League. Jack Wisher Mugu played in this Premier League. What's that called now that I run like fool, like rat? What's his name? Theo Walcott played in this Premier League. And I can name a whole lot. Paul Furlong played for Manchester United in this Premier League. So the fact that you play in Premier League, and then one guy, we not even say I'm on the tournament, people say he go surprise me. Me. Listen, I don't know anything about no ball. I might not know anything in this life but football. I be good. If football and education, I get PhD. Yaya Sanogo Pepe. What is his name? Nicolas Pepe. People say, hey, go surprise me. Can play one Mumu game against Nigeria. I say, listen, this guy knows how to play ball. When Ivory Coast sack their coach and they're ready to chase the tournament, una say Nicolas Pepe again for the tournament. No, not say people are not sabi, no sabi. So not be say because you play for Premiership, you come and say you be good player. There's all Bori. We don't play for Premiership. Ruston Drent, you not play for Premiership. But let's move on. Now, when I first tell me that I said the beef, say I be local guy. I just the beef. Now beef they do me. So when I enjoy on a player championship game finals like this, your big players stand up and get counted. That's why people like them Luka Modric at Real Madrid be who them be. That's why winning the World Cup of Germany in 2014 made Ozil and Sami Khedira who them be, and you know the other guys. You have to stand up and be counted irrespective of who is in your front, because this is win or lose. This is the game. This is the game where your name is etched. in history, and you are written as a winner, as a legend. You stay there forever. When the tournament, subsequently, when the tournament is being hosted, you would be invited to come and sit down and play some very good role. But unfortunately, this is Nigeria, all right, where we pamper people and beg them, especially if they come from abroad and they manage to have that Mumu accent. Oh, God of heaven. You don't finish. They are God, they are untouchable. Unfortunately, that's our lot. Anyway, let's move on. The allow is a perfect analysis by Prof there. I always love his views on the TSL. Habib Ayodeji say, is it just me or Jose Pesero was emotional? Yes, it was very, very emotional. I think the occasion again overwhelmed him. It was emotional, it was confused. It was okay. Some calls, some officiating were suspicious in the first half, but I don't think that they were enough. Like we put the ball in the net and the referee disallowed it, or a penalty happened, they didn't give us. It was enough. Sometimes they run interfield. It was just there, like, oh, now maybe this, now maybe the finals. Oh my God, he got overwhelmed. I understand. I remember. Let me say this. I could be very, very stoic and poised, and I can be rash when I want to, but I could also be very, very stoic and poised. And I remember the first day somebody gifted me $50, which is like very not too big, but this is not me showing off, but not really big on this YouTube, and I practically cried. That's me getting the emotion of, oh, all these years of working this work. So a time is actually going to come where people would chook hand in their pocket and decide to gift me money for doing this. He got me, and that just blew my head. That just blew me. And so sometimes when you have been attacked, people have said, because don't forget that they all see all these comments. His son is working with him, and a whole lot. And you wake up and you see this old talk. You know that, man, I've not gotten to the finals, so my CV has changed, my standard have changed. People were going to win this one we're going to win. So you start looking at everybody as a witch that want to deprive you of your opportunity. And then knowing that if you win this, you're going to be the first person from your country to win, the first Portuguese coach to win an African Cup of Nations. It was a whole lot. So I understand. Okay. Abibayo, did you say, is it just me or Jose Pesero was emotional yesterday? When I mean emotional, like complaining about refereeing decision instead of coaching the team and telling them to calm down. Yes, he was. Babatunde Falagan says Super Eagles did not play to win at all due to the weakness in the midfield. The defenders were tired. Abibayo, did you say, why Ichukwueze is so nonchalant? I don't get it. Most times, the players that are too much into being jokers, who are not calm, who don't study, always become nuisance to the team. They to carry speaker for shoulder and be dancing anyhow, like that's also the problem with Kelechi. Since people forget that Kelechi has been in this national team now since like 2018, but it cannot seem to tie down the playing time, because sometimes in this whole thing, people are watching you are like, oh, this one's focus is to sing and dance. Let's leave him. Let him be the clown of the team. Gunnar Trump put it this way. He said, when he didn't pick it for 2019, I asked him, why didn't he say, listen, when I want to have a comedy show, I would invite Kelechi Iheanacho. But when I want football, I would invite people who are ready to play football. Kelechi Iheanacho for me is the comedy. He's a comedian. That's why Gunnar Trump told me. And people thought it was weak. Oh, German people are always like this. They're too high-handed. Well, we're saying it now. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun say, my positive from the tournament is Wambali. I can confidently say now that we have a goalkeeper. I agree with you. At least we will not be banking on the one where you both sign. If he is Emeka, you both sign, you can stay your side. Then Demola Ibrahim went on to say, I just hope we get a good midfield scout before the qualifiers and next Nations Cup. Not be this, it will be we go rely on. And the funny thing is, the boy not go retire. He go still play for another. If he still play for another 10 years, they claim say they young, play rubbish with it. That way they have. Demola Ibrahim say, he paid me as one Kali career they go. That guy is one player I love from his under another player that likes to play too much. He too play. It's too unserious. That unseriousness, I do it careers. It too play. Like when I say player to play, I'm not saying don't be playful, but you see this thing called football, now serious business. There is a place perception is a very big thing. How people see you. It took me a long while to convince people say I need a smoking bro. In my entire years of Brilla, people thought, oh, this one, I'm not saying Igbo is bad, but that was a perception. A lot of people in the industry, this one is smoking Igbo. This one, some people thought I was taking cocaine, like this guy. No, this guy's a drug addict. This guy's. It took a very long time for people to come to that agreement that, okay, he's right. It's not really into that thing. Okay. So perception is a very strong thing in life. And the perception people have of you sometimes can just make them, no, this one, when we need something serious, we know who to go to. This one, we don't need him right now. Olafa to say good morning, boss. It's your reaction for me when Professor gave his take on Iwobi. Obaregere said, do you think a Pesero should be retained? Well, I don't think we can. So we're not in a position of choice. That's the truth. We not get the money to go get any coach. So if you don't retain Pesero, because this question I always like it to come with, what are the options in front of us? Who can we get, and what are we going to pay them, and how are we going to pay them? Pesero, as we did, so we never even pay. We all are like almost 1 year. So this money from this second place now would work well to pay a lot of things. But who are we going to bring? What are the options? The options are not good. Again, if you want to take any coach from the AFCON right now, you've got to take a coach that is better than him. The Ivorians will keep their coach. So who are you going to take? Ugo Bros will not come to Nigeria. I don't think South Africa want to let him go. Who do you really want to take to come to Nigeria and earn what you're earning? The coach of South Africa earns about $200,000 a month. We are struggling to pay $50,000 a month. So you look at all of that factors and you say to yourself, you're stuck with this guy. If not, you're going to step down to a Nigerian coach that is lower, that is lesser, that have lesser ability to convince other countries to play friendly matches with us. So there is a whole lot riding here that you have to consider. I don't think that there is any Nigerian coach right now that is ready to coach the Super Eagles. I don't think there's any. That's my own anyway. Motivational thought. They say you cannot have that depth of attacking talent on your squad and not provide them with the key tools to function and utilize it to your advantage. Pesero blew this game big time. Olafat said what's the depth of the attacking the threat that we have? Well, we have only two attackers. One is not really clinical when he plays on the national team with the chances he gets. That is Teremoffi. The other one, I not even count himself. So we only have two attackers. We have Victor Sime, and then we have Teremoffi. Onuachu is just there. It's neither here nor there for as far as I'm concerned. And the way the team is set up, if we try to attack like other teams, we'll concede like 5 goals. These Super Eagles, if we try and say we set up 4-3-3 or say we say we want to attack the world, everybody attack. If we focus on scoring goals, we will never see final. That group stage of knock us out. Olafa say, I think I support Atinuke because the Cote d'Ivoire coach rotated lots of his team and that helped fatigue, but maybe because he had nothing to lose. Pesero went with a plan A without a plan B. There's no plan B in football. People just say this thing all the time. Dele Amedu says, this super chickens in hand, that would have come back. An absolute disgrace. 6 Nigerians died while watching. No, nobody team kill them. They're not manage themselves well. They're not manage themselves. No, blame it on the Super Eagles. Not everything. Now, this type of blame I need they like. This are the mumu blame why they talk. So while watching your game, yet you couldn't honor them by lifting the trophy. I hear you, my friend. Shift. That's not even conversation. What was that nonsense? This Henry Umaru the live. He said it will be go first shake that like girl. Laugh on Kimi die. The allow say even Jack Wilshere and Walcott played in the Premier League for a big team like Arsenal, and they be Ogborio, useless footballers who don't sabi play. Jack Wilshere put head for ground, carry ball wrong, go jam opponent, break his leg there because he's out for 18 weeks. Rubbish player. To Walcott that one. Let me know if we talk about. I don't want to talk about your Walcott right now. Dele Amedu say Iwobi has been a disaster for the Super Eagles from day one. You don't select a player to play for Nigeria just because he's a coach's cousin or nephew or whatever he is. But that time when I talk, all of them insult me now. This thing all of them they verse for so. 5 years ago, I've said this thing. When I say, now I get the best true pass, now I get the best we get the arrow 2, now I get the best arrow 2. I will play PlayStation, not the Chris. I play arrow 2 for football. Come on, get out of my front and let me see football. But when I say and the beef, this one, some people even turn them to tribal thing. I don't like Igbo people, and I marry Igbo woman. All my children get Igbo name, but I don't like Igbo people. Una well don't know. I agree to now. Una do. Abibayo Deji say, boss, I know say you get Dada, but does it have any effect on how you play football, like your mobility and movement as a player? Because I feel it will be Dada the effect is moving. It will be not available. That are the same. Joe Aribo that they affect. I don't cut. The buy head don't show now. He not see the play ball. He get buy head, but you know make a busy done. Dreadlock may the affect person. We've seen players with dreadlock: Christian Karembeu, Clarence Seedorf, Edgar Davies, what's it called? Ruud Gullit, Frank Rijkaard. All these guys carry dada. They play ball to Ballon d'Or level. They win Champions League. They play ball where it suits everybody. In short, everybody choose to carry dada. Dada not get anything. We also don't see people who get bololo, shiny bololo, where they use granite oil and anointing oil rub. They don't play anything for football. So it not get anything to do with the hair. Football is your brain sending a signal to your leg and telling you, before you get the ball, you don't know 10 things what you go do with the ball. As the ball come, your first control puts you in an advantage position. And it got nothing to do with Alex Iwobi is always minded. I keep saying this thing, and I'll say it. See, the world go end. Well, people, when I say this, they're like, you don't know what. That are fashion. Some people like us were born with it, but that are just fashion. It's fashion. You just like it. Sometimes you feel like, okay, this is good for you because of the shape of your hair, the person that you are, the kind of personality you want to put out there. You're fine. Me, I can actually carry any type of hair apart from skin. I carry low cut, I can carry afro. I've done all that. I've carried afro, I've weaved my hair, cornrows. If you follow me, growing up, you see all that. But the thing is, dada, no, I don't use that play ball now. I use that play some good football. Super Eagles lack a lot of things. We don't have good crossers of the ball. They say wingers in the cross, you're gonna be inverter. Now they supply current. They say midfielder, we not get, if we get dead ball, 35 years to go, we not get somebody where we say go feed, play that free kick, he go trouble the goalkeeper, not to talk of scorer. All those things are things that we need to start looking at in our team. And there's a whole lot. It's a different show. This show has ended. Let's not even have that conversation right now. Let me read the last two messages and pack my bag and baggages and go. This place is very, very hot. Maya Michael said the government don't clear all outstanding balance owed to everyone within the NFF, except it doesn't cover Jose salaries and benefits. They don't clear them on paper. The money be released. This is your country. You don't know. The Olaiwa say maybe yesterday was when we would have loved to have Boniface, but for injury. Well, maybe that, maybe not. I don't know, but it is one of those things. And this is where we'll come to the end of the show. Be very, very sure I'll be here by 10 p.m. tonight, where we'll look at all the club football and every other thing. We'll put the AFCON by the side and focus on club football. And I highlight some players that have really impressed, even while the AFCON was going on. And some players I keep impressing. Xabi Alonso's stock keep rising. Right now, I don't know if there is even the whole talk of him going to Liverpool. Can Liverpool really afford him? Because where he is right now, he's not Pep Guardiola yet, but he's facing that trajectory. And it does look like the Real Madrid job is the job that is in waiting for him in the next 2, 3, or 4 seasons. If he goes on like this, he's still not lost a game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he has lost a game. Let me check before I miss Yan, and then they come for my head, because the way the world is designed is I can talk 99 good things. That one where if I make mistake now, that one everybody go pick on, say, hey, Daffy. Okay, he's not lost a game in the league. He's played 21 games, he's won 17, drawn 4. It's not lost a single game. Bayern Munich have played the same number of games, but they are 5 points behind them as they beat them this weekend, 3-0 in front of their own fans. Well, that's the most we have of the show this morning. In the evening, we'll come here, we'll review some of the Premier League games, some of the club games, selected ones, and then we will look at Crystal Palace Chelsea. The last 1 hour of that game will be live, and then Juventus Udinese, Almeria Athletic Bilbao. On Tuesday, there is the Europa Champions League. So again, we'll be here from 10 o'clock, and then on Wednesday, like that, it continues. So the night show is officially on, and we're going to keep having it as we go. Thank you very much, everyone who's been part of the show. For those of you who like it, thank you. Those of you who comment, thank you very much. Our brother, who kind enough to send us money this morning. It's not easy money this morning. Okay, that sounds like a rhyme now. Habib Ayodeji, thank you very much for the $10 that you send us. God bless you. We really appreciate. And every other person who joined in on the show, join us again 10 p.m. tonight, Nigerian time. And for everybody who sent in their voice note from our producer in Italy, in Lucca, Italy, near Milan, and to Precious the Professor, Atinuke, and Ashogbon, as well as Ojo Bamiji. God bless you. Have for yourself a wonderful day. My name is Idafi Matias. You love to come in on the sports. It's been a wonderful time on the sports buffet. Let's do the night roundup, football roundup tonight by 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Bye-bye.